muchas veces las personas que son cristianas tienen muchas dudas sin meterse a la política, de estar involucrados en la política. Tienen ideas de que piensan que incluso es algo que está en contraposición con el cristianismo, que se opone al cristianismo. Entonces, ¿qué piensas de eso? ¿Los cristianos deberíamos estar envueltos en la política? ¿Hay alguna conexión entre ambas cosas?
Well, I think this is one of the biggest misunderstandings that Christians have. A lot of times we think, well, we should not be involved in politics. We turn our faith into some kind of otherworldly thing where it's just about we say yes to Jesus and then we bide our time and then we go to heaven. But that's not what the Bible teaches. There's so much more to it. Yes, it starts with belief in Jesus and it starts with putting our trust in him for salvation. Of course, that is the biggest, that is the most important thing. But when you do that, it changes your whole view of reality. So there are implications that flow from that as Christians that are going to guide everything about how we live our life. And Jesus, of course, speaks to this, especially in the Sermon on the Mount, for example. So when Jesus says that we are to be salt and light, think about what that means. To be salt and light means to preserve and to illuminate. Well, you cannot preserve the decaying world and you cannot illuminate the darkness and evil by sitting in your living room. You just can't do those things. This has something to do with a public nature. Those activities are inherently something public. And so we need to be out there advocating as Christians for the common good. What is the good of society? It's all over the Bible that God cares about the just and righteous functioning of society, so Christians should care too. So I think one of the misconceptions comes from the way that people define politics. Because if 20 people use the word politics, they're going to use 20 different definitions. So just to step back a second, the word politics only means how people who are living in community together decide on the parameters by which they're going to live. So you're a group of people, you're living in a community, in a country, whatever the context is, you have to decide how you're going to live together. Of course, Christians should be involved in that process. We're part of our country, right? And so what I always tell people is that if you live in a country where you have the opportunity to influence the governing structure toward making and enforcing laws that promote the common good, of course we should want to do that because we love God and we love others. If we love other people, then we're just obeying Jesus' command to go out and work toward a society that works and functions for their good. And that's a good according to God's objective standards, not the good that society wants. So as Christians, we have to be salt and light in that way. And that includes being involved in politics.